Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning. If you are in the US, good afternoon if you're in the UK. I hope everyone's doing well today. Happy Saturday. I hope you've all had a good week. It's been very grey and very rainy over here in the UK. So I hope you guys have had a little bit more sunshine, a little bit brighter days than we've had over here. So this past week, every single day, I've been going through a different part of Salah. So we've been focusing on standing postures, seated postures, inversions or sujood, and the general awareness and focus that you need to cultivate during your Salah. So I'm going to try and squeeze all of those things into our 30-minute session today. So we'll try and get as much as we can done, but obviously it's only a short session and I want you to be present for the whole thing. So we're not going to rush through anything. One of the main reasons that I wanted to focus on postures that strengthen your salah is because of how important it is to have a strong body in order to pray. Obviously, we have the ability to pray from a chair, and there's lots of different alternatives for people who physically can't pray. But if we have an able body and we have the ability to stand in front of our Creator as a form of worship, it's our duty, it's our responsibility to maintain our ability to do that into our old age as much as we can. So, by doing these kind of stretches and strengthening exercises, hopefully that's what we can do. So, we will be starting in a comfortable seated position. You can have your hips elevated with just a blanket or a cushion or something. But however you would like to sit right now, it is up to you. You can have your legs crossed, you can be on your knees, your hands can be in your lap or on the knees with the palms down, palms facing up. We're just gonna lift the shoulders all the way up to the ears as we breathe in, and then exhale to drop them all the way down your back. Close down the eyes here. And we're just gonna start by coming into our bodies. Now, I don't know what kind of morning we've had, whether it's been a chaotic, hectic morning, whether you've just got out of bed, whether it's halfway through your day. So just taking this time now to meet ourselves where we are. Come back to the body, come back to the breath. And just noticing how our breath feels today, noticing how our body feels today. Grounding down through the sit bones there. Making sure your spine is nice and straight, and this will translate through to our standing postures, through to our seated postures, and eventually through to our salah. So really creating that nice long line with your spine. And just starting to create a sense of awareness. So turning your awareness to any sounds you can hear in the room, any sensations you can feel in your body, any sensations in the room. Can you feel a breeze? Have you got a heater on? Just turning our attention to what is around us, what is within us, what we can feel. And then on our next breath, turning that attention towards the breath. So as we inhale, thinking about nothing but that inhale and that exhale. Maybe just starting to slow that breath down. So as you inhale, maybe make it a little bit longer, and then exhale for that little bit longer, and just slowly start to slow everything down. Maybe see if you can notice a difference in how your body feels as the breathing slows down. And then placing your right hand on your stomach, your left hand on your heart. Take a big, deep inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. big, deep cleansing breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. And then taking the arms out to the side and inhaling to lift them all the way up, gazing up at your fingers. And on your exhale, we're going to twist to the side. So open the arms out to the side and twist to the left. So your arms are in this big T shape, twisting to the left. You're going to have to use a lot of the strength in your back to keep yourself in this position and not twist too hard that you feel your breathing is constricted. So make sure you can still breathe into the lungs here. And then inhale those arms back up to the top and exhale to twist to the right. Arms come out to a T. Inhale, the arms come back up. And then we're going to take a shoulder stretch here. So I'll show you a few different options. Lifting the right arm up to the sky, bend the elbow and bring the hand so it's in the middle of your shoulder blades here. If this is enough for you, you can bring the left hand onto your right elbow and just hold it here. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can take this left hand, sweep it under so the fingers come up, and then reach for the right hand. So you're giving yourself a nice big shoulder stretch here. You can also use something like a strap or a towel. So if you have your right arm up and then reach down with the left, you can kind of create this pulling motion so you can gradually move your hands down over time. So finding whichever variation of this works best for you. And taking a nice deep breath here. Exhale to release the arms, and then we're going to take the same on the other side. So whichever variation you did here, just finding that by lifting the left arm up, and then either reaching back with the right, or the right is going to come on top of that elbow and just pull that arm down your back. So you should be feeling a nice stretch along the underneath of the arms and across the front of the shoulders here too. If your arm is around the back, you should also feel a nice pull across this front shoulder. But we don't want anything that feels sharp or tight or too uncomfortable. Good. Exhale to release that hand back down. And then turning to face the long edge of the mat, extend both of your legs out. And we're going to bring the right foot, the outer edge of the right foot, onto the left thigh. Now, this might be enough for your hip and your knee joint. If you feel a very deep stretch here, just bring the hands down to the side or behind you and just stay like this. Or you can bring a bend into the left knee, plant the left foot, and then create an even more intense stretch along the back of the thigh there. Just breathing in this posture. And then wherever you are, either extend that left leg first or just release your right one. And we'll do the same on the other side. So bending the left knee, bringing the outer edge of the foot onto the right thigh. Hands come behind you. Palms are planted or fingers are planted. And then you might be able to bend that right knee too. Making sure your spine stays nice and long. And then exhale to drop the knees, bring the legs back in front of you, and then crossing the feet, bringing your body weight over your hips, come up onto all fours, and then send your weight back into your child's pose. So for this one, we're going to have the knees together, the feet together, and just release the upper body, let the hands come down. and then release the head to the mat too. So in this posture, we're really thinking about breathing into the back of the lungs, so really expanding through the back, expanding through the sides of the body. We're not just breathing into the front of the chest. And we're going to take a bit of a fun variation here. So with your knees together, you're in your child's pose. I want your hands to come back, and you're going to send your body weight forward and bring the crown of your head onto the mat. So I'm not talking about forehead, all the way onto the top of the mat. This might be enough for you. You might feel the stretch along the back of the neck, along the back of the back, or you can bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and pull your hands all the way overhead. This is a very nice, gentle inversion. It releases pressure on the neck, releases pressure on the shoulders. And then inhale to come all the way up and bring the hands down the back. Still now we're in a kneeling position, puffing the chest open. And then exhale to release. And we're going to come into a slight toe stretch now. So just bringing your weight forward, tucking your toes and sending the hips back onto the heels. As this might be very intense for you, just take it as long as you can and then untuck the toes and come back down. So just really focusing on your breath here, breathing into the discomfort, breathing into the tightness. Good. And then sending our weight forward again, plant the palms in front of you, keep the toes tucked, and then you can either send your hips back, come into your child's pose, or you can send the hips up to the sky, and we're coming into our down dog. So keeping a nice deep bend in the knees, your heels can be lifted. So we're really pushing the ground away with our hands, stretching through the arms, stretching along the back. Taking some nice deep breaths here. You might want to bend one leg, bend the other, and just sway your hips, feeling into where your body needs the movement this morning. And then walking the hands slowly, slowly, slowly all the way up until you come to a natural stop. And then from here, we're going to do some forward folds. So bringing a nice deep bend into the knees. Again, connect your stomach to your thighs and then let the body hang heavy over the legs. Your hands can come wherever is natural. So they might be falling on your shins, on your knees. They might be near your ankles. But you might also find the more of a bend you bring into your knees, the closer you can get to that floor. And then you can start to slowly push the hamstrings to straighten over time. Just exhaling as we fold over here. This is a very nice release on the lower back. And then slowly, 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 as you inhale, start to round through the spine and pull yourself up to standing. Kind of isolate each vertebrae in your spine. So we're really slowly coming up to a straight line. And then from here, let me just move this up so you can see. Okay, so taking your right arm up to the sky, we're going to grab the right wrist with the left hand. So pull that wrist, the right wrist over, all the way to the left. You can keep your legs straight like this, or you can take your right foot behind your left, plant it there, and just make that stretch even bigger. Making sure you're not pulling yourself so tight that you are constricting your lungs. So make sure you're pulling up, you're lengthening so you can breathe. Inhale to come back up to center, and then grabbing the left wrist with the right hand. The left hand comes behind the right foot, and we're pulling over to the right. Good. Release the hands, release the legs. And then we're going to come to the top of the mat. With both feet standing at the top, lift up the left foot and slowly send it to the back, or just step to the back. And then bring a nice deep bend into that front knee. We're on the tiptoes of that back leg. That back leg is nice and engaged. We're pushing away from the ground, whilst at the same time dropping into the front knee. So it's like a balancing act. Hips are squared to the front of the room. Inhale, your arms are going to come up. And then on your next exhale, that back foot, you're going to plant the heel and point the toes to face the back of the room. Your hips are going to square to face the long edge of the mat, and then extend the arms out into a T, coming into your warrior two. Hands come to hips, and then inhale to turn to face the front of the mat and bring that left foot back to the top. So you might feel a nice difference in your legs here. On your next exhale, send the right foot back this time, coming into our high lunge on the other side. So engaging that back leg, pulling up through that knee, sinking into the left thigh. Arms come up overhead. And on your next exhale, the arms come down as the foot turns to face the long edge, hips square to face the long edge of the mat, and then we look over that front middle finger. Good. Hands come to hips, turn to face the front of the mat, lift that back foot up, and we come all the way back to our standing. We're going to try one more balancing posture now. So if you would like to take yourself near a wall, just if you haven't tried this one before, and also just embrace the wobbles. It's really, really fun to practice these balancing postures, because even after years of practice, you will still have days where you can't hold them. So this pose is called Warrior 3. So standing in the middle of the mat, lift the right knee up into the chest. Find stability in that left leg. So really ground down through that left leg. Squeeze the glute. Then flex the foot of this right leg and send it back. You're engaging the right leg as much as you can. And then your hands might be at the floor here. Once you've got this alignment here, your right leg is straight. You can play about with lifting the hands, bringing the hands to the heart center, and just finding that straight line here. Whoop, see, everyone wobbles. But we're just finding that stability. We're finding strength in that ankle, which is going to help us with our Salah immensely. Just seeing how much balance we can find here, really playing about with that, and then coming back up to standing. So let's try that one on the other side. Grounding down through the right leg, left knee comes up, flex that foot. Send it to the back of the room. You might bring your hands down at the same time so you can get your bearings, get your balance here. And then inhale, hands come up, pull up through the core. Really engaging both of your legs here. And then exhale to drop that foot back down. Well done. Warrior 3 is lots of fun. So we're going to come up onto our tiptoes now, and we're going to play about with lowering ourselves all the way down to seated on our toes. So you might want to do this against a wall just to help with the balance if you really do want to focus on working on the leg strength here, or if you want to do both, come away from the wall and we can try without. So coming up onto the tiptoes, hands can come to the heart center, they can come on your hips, they can come out to the side, whichever you feel you need most for your balance. And then bending the knees, exhaling really, really slowly to lower yourself all the way down into this toe stand. And then once we're here, you might need to bring the hands down, that's fine. But once we're here, we're going to see if we can send the hips back and lower the heels. And then lower the butt. And don't worry how much of that you could do. This is something that's going to take a lot of time, but working on this works on your ankle mobility, your knee mobility, and your hips, which is exactly what we need for our prayer. So now we're down back on our mats. We're in our seated position. Extend both of your legs out in front of you. Bring the right knee up into the chest. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to bring the arm around. Your left arm is around the right knee, and you're twisting over your right shoulder. Inhale to look forward. Drop the right knee down to the side so the inside of the foot is on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to drop the torso down over the leg. So we're folding. Your hands might be on the floor. They might be on your shin, your ankle, your foot. Wherever you are, just pulling yourself over that leg. And then inhaling, walking those hands back up. Straighten the right leg, the left leg comes in, bend the knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to bring the right arm all the way across that left knee, twisting to the left. Inhale to turn yourself back to the front. Drop the left knee out to the side so that foot is on the inside of the right thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale, fold over that right leg. And then inhale to come all the way up. Extend the left leg along the mat, and then we're going to fold over both legs. This is quite an intense posture. So if you have a prop, I have a strap, but you can also use like a blanket or a towel and wrap it around the backs of the feet so you have something to hold on to. Can you see, once I do this, my spine straightens a lot rather than pulling myself down with a round spine. So if you have the option to hold on to something and pull yourself that way, this is much better. But if you don't, you're going to have to try and think about it without the prop. So as you lower, pulling your chest forward, almost like you're back bending slightly. And that means you might not be able to fold as deep, but you'll feel more of an intense stretch along the back of the hamstrings. So either with your prop or without. Just exhaling here. And then inhaling to walk the hands all the way back. Shuffle yourself forward slightly. And then we're going to come all the way back down onto our backs. You can keep the knees bent and just knock your knees from side to side from this reclined position. You can have the hands on the hips or on the ground to support you. And then I like to end my class on a very gentle inversion. So You can take it from a reclined position, or you can do it up against a wall. This pose is literally called legs up a wall. So planting the hands down next to you, bending the knees, and then sending the feet up to the sky. Flex the feet, so you're pushing the heels up to the ceiling, and create this straight line with your legs. And just taking a few breaths here. So when you do this against the wall, you don't have the tension on the back of the hamstrings as much. You don't have to engage your legs. You can literally just release the body against the wall. So it's a very nice restorative posture at the end of the day. All of the benefits that you get from sujood, you also get from postures like legs up a wall, because they are inversions. So it is head below the heart, and that is very good at reversing the effects of gravity, calming the nervous system, and just helping your body naturally relax and find equilibrium. So with your legs still up the wall, just taking our last few breaths here. And then you can slowly start to lower your legs down and just come to a comfortable reclined position. Bringing your legs out to the side, your feet can fall out, your hands can be facing the ceiling. And we're just starting to slow down the breath. Let the heart rate return to normal as we come to the end of our class. So just taking some breaths here. Noticing how the body feels now compared to the start of the practice. So do you feel more relaxation in your muscles? Is your mind quieter, or is your mind louder? We don't know. Sometimes yoga makes it the opposite. Just exposes what's already there. And just thanking your body, thanking yourself for showing up today, for putting the effort into bettering yourselves, bettering your body, and bettering your Salah and your connection to Allah. And just thinking of some things that you are grateful for to end the class with today. And maybe as you breathe, just reciting Alhamdulillah on your exhales. So breathing in, breathing out, Alhamdulillah. Just thinking about the things that we are grateful for. We're almost a week away from Ramadan, so starting these good habits now is going to help us maintain them throughout the month. It will help us stand for longer periods of prayer during our Taraweeh. It will help us when we're fasting, when we're tired and thirsty. It will help with our energy levels. And sticking to things that discipline us is a great way of fighting the nafs and our negative emotions. So just spending your last few moments here with the breath, with the body. Nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. I'm just going to read you a verse of the Quran to think about as we go on our days. So today's verse is, reflect on the verse, so be patient, for the promise of Allah certainly is true. Reflect on the hope embedded in the assurance of Allah's promise. How can the assurance of Allah's promise strengthen your resolve to never give up, even in the face of adversity? So taking the idea of patience and striving for confidence in the face of adversity with us as we go off onto our weekend. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. It has been a pleasure to teach you this morning, well, this afternoon in the UK, Tomorrow you will have Naz, who will take you through another 30-minute mindful movement session, inshallah. And you will have me back again on Monday. So Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be here teaching a 40-minute movement and breathwork session. And the next few weeks, it will be good. I'm going to be bringing in some philosophy from yoga and from Islam to help bolster your Ramadan and your spiritual practices. So thank you so much, everyone. Inshallah, I will see you again soon, and I hope you have a good weekend.